The NFL draft was finally here, and I'm so sorry I didn't get this out to you guys earlier. I know you guys are used to heavily edited videos, but there was a problem. I'm re-recording this, so it's just going to be me today, so stick around with me. But I'm here to defend that the first 15 picks were absolutely flawless. I know there's a lot of speculation on if the teams made the right picks or not, but it was very active. It was highly entertaining. I don't think the first one I don't agree with comes at 17 with the Las Vegas Raiders, but I mean, what do we expect from the Raiders? Not much else, but let's get into it. For the first pick, Trevor Lawrence, I mean, he's the guy. 6'6", franchise quarterback, can run, make every throw. He's the best quarterback in high school, best quarterback in college, great on and off the field, national champion. The Jags would really have to mess this up not to go out and get this guy. He's the most surefire number one pick I have seen in a very, very long time, if not ever. Urban Meyer, the new regime, they picked Travis Etienne up later in the first round. That's a little college-minded to me, but they do have rapport together, but that's not what we're worried about. Trevor Lawrence, number one pick. That's the guy. The Jets at number 2 is Zach Wilson. We all knew this was going to happen when the Jets traded Darnold, and I'm not sure exactly how I feel about this, just because, I mean, I know Robert Saleh is a lot better of a coach than Adam Gase is, but are they just throwing Zach Wilson into another bad situation and not succeed? Maybe, but we'll see. He's definitely the second best quarterback in this class. The best thing I heard about him is he's a shortstop. You do not care when you have a shortstop how he gets the ball to first base as long as he does, and this is where a lot of the Patrick Mahomes comparisons comes in. The off-platform, the sidearm. He can throw it 55 yards off his back foot with ease. He's NFL ready right now. I think he's going to do great. And if he doesn't do great, it's going to have a lot more to do with the Jets than the play of Zach Wilson. And the draft kind of started at number 3 with the 49ers because it comes out that Kyle Shanahan knew all along who he was getting, but we did not know until that draft came in. And when it was between Trey Lance and Mac Jones, I was just praying that it was going to be Trey Lance because Kyle Shanahan's offense has had a lot of success with people like Matt Ryan, Jimmy Garoppolo. He wanted Kirk Cousins, just that pocket passer quarterback. But I think this quarterback can be so dynamic in this offense. And if you think about their division, they have Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, Matt Stafford. Jimmy Garoppolo is the odd man out in this. And I love that Jimmy Garoppolo is still going to be there, and he has a huge injury problem. So if Trey Lance can sit back and develop, he's possibly the best runner, the best arm talent. He's not as accurate as everyone would like him to be, but that's because he's so young. He's only 20 years old, and he hasn't played that many snaps. He played in a run-heavy offense, but he has the highest potential. He could honestly be the best quarterback in this draft. I think he's going to have the best success early just because of the situation he's in with the 49ers, but this Kyle Shanahan offense runs so smoothly with everything that gets schemed open. I think he's going to love to have a guy that when everything breaks down, the defense plays it perfectly, that he's going to be able to go off script and still make things happen. Moving on to number 4, Kyle Pitts, the best non-quarterback in this draft class, if not just the best player in this draft class overall. The Falcons are absolutely loaded right now, but with Julio Jones on the trade block right now, they had to go out and replace him. I mean, he's 6'6", strong, runs a 4.4 40-yard dash, and he didn't drop a single ball at Florida all of last year. He is the best tight end prospect I've seen in a long time, and justifying a tight end, he's the highest tight end drafted in NFL history. So what that means to me is this is a reach for them, but I don't think that at all. I mean, you look at how important George Kittle, Darren Waller, Travis Kelce are to their teams. This is absolutely a must pick. This was great for the Falcons. I'm so glad they have them. Moving on to number 5, this pick got a lot of controversy just because Joe Burrow, he was scrambling around all year. Let's go out and protect him. But they go out and get receiver Jamar Chase, the best receiver, not named Kyle Pitts. I mean, if you want to count Kyle Pitts as a wide receiver. Best receiver on the board, has great rapport with Joe Burrow. We see what happens when you get a guy that can come in. I mean, you saw what happened when Stephon Diggs went to Buffalo. We see when someone gets a number 1 target, it just changes everything. And to justify a first-round pick or a top 5 pick being an offensive lineman, I think they need to be a premier left tackle, which they kind of already have. They have Jonah Williams. He's a very good left tackle for the Bengals. So to go out and get a guard in the top 5, they have an old right tackle center. So, and they did draft some linemen later in the draft, but to me, if they were going to get Penei Sewell, they would be undervaluing him. They would not use him properly because they have 2 tackles. They need to get some better linemen, but this is a very deep lineman class. So if they can go get some later in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th round and still protect Joe Burrow and get him that number 1 guy that can be an instant Pro Bowler, an instant All-Pro player, the best wide receiver in this class that already has great rapport with Joe Burrow. I fully support this pick, and I don't think they should have been criticized for this as they were. Number 6, we give Tua a weapon finally, and I think we are so quick to write off Tua. He is a great quarterback, didn't have immediate success, but I think that's just because we're so used to young quarterbacks having success so quick now. But if we look back at like Drew Brees or Peyton Manning, they didn't have success right away. But now we see people like Kyler Murray, Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes just having like instant success in the NFL. That doesn't mean. So go out and get the most explosive receiver in this draft, someone that Tua has played with before at Alabama. Just give him weapons, and he's kind of the Tyreek Hill-like player of this draft, and Mike Gesicki is kind of like a B-tier Travis Kelce. So we kind of give Tua, Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill-like player. Just give him weapons. It's a very tough division. You need to score a lot of points in this division. So I fully support this pick, and they can go get linemen later in the draft if they think that's what they need. My Lions at 7, this is where I have been so scared because the Lions constantly miss over and over and over in the draft. But we're in the Dan Campbell regime, and I can instantly see where this is going. This is the most... If anyone is going to be a Hall of Famer out of this draft class, I've heard it's Penny Sewell. I didn't watch a ton of him. I mean, he opted out last year. I saw his highlights from 2 years ago. He is a beast. He is the person you need. And if you can just get the trenches, I mean, we just look at their first 3 picks that the Lions made. Left tackle, defensive tackle, defensive tackle. We are building the trenches, and when we have Jared Goff and we have no real direction, we have so many holes. To build the offensive and defensive line and just be solid can make you a playoff team. We saw Washington do this, have just like 5 first-round defensive lineman picks, a good offensive line. It doesn't even matter who your quarterback is. You have a good run game. You can get time with your quarterback. I absolutely love where this is going. I don't think the Lions are going to be good recently or anytime in the next couple of years, but I love the direction that they're going. I think he's going to be a huge cornerstone to their turnaround. And at 8, we have the Panthers getting cornerback J.C. Horn, which I believe is the best cornerback in this draft. He has the best resume, and if you ask Kyle Pitts, the most dominant, unguardable person in college, he said J.C. Horn gave him the hardest time. I know when he's healthy, he is the best one. He was a very physical press corner, so I'm not sure if that's the direction that the Panthers are going in now. I know they were talking about getting Mac Jones. I'm really glad they didn't go out and do that because, as I mentioned earlier, Sam Darnold has never had a chance in the NFL to have success. So to get a top 10 pick quarterback battle is just kind of a toxic environment to get started in a new system. We don't know. Give Sam Darnold 1 year, maybe 2, then go get your guy. But if you're not completely sold on Mac Jones, I love that they fill the hole that they need and get the best corner in the draft. I think he's going to be an instant Pro Bowler. I love how he changed his technique in his last year. And he has the best resume, and he is NFL ready. And Patrick Surtain goes to the Denver Broncos. I thought they were going to take a quarterback right here, but after hearing all the Aaron Rodgers stuff going on, it sounds like a deal with the Denver Broncos is very, very close, and that has to make Broncos fans so excited. They get the second best corner by a hair in this draft. He is also very NFL ready. Will probably be all-pro, all-Pro Bowler very soon. He fills a need. This was kind of an easy pick, but it ripped the heart of the Dallas Cowboys sitting at 10, who wanted one or both, not both of these guys. They wanted J.C. Horn or Pat Surtain because they desperately need it. So this is where the Cowboys sat at 10, and they made an in-division trade with the Eagles. I've never seen that before, and it just blew my mind. But as I look at it, it makes sense for both teams. So the Eagles are sitting back, say, well, hey, we're 2 picks later. We'll give you a 3rd-round pick. We're taking offense. We're not going to take your guy. So, I mean, he had to believe him, I guess. Jerry Jones probably just went, whatever. We didn't get either one of our guys. Got an extra 3rd-round pick, but we'll get to that in a second. But the Eagles, they have to hit on a receiver eventually, right? There's no way they can just keep missing. I mean, they passed up on Justin Jefferson. They passed up on DK Metcalf. And, I mean, Jalen Hurts he needs more weapons. Devonte Smith, and a Heisman Trophy winner, insane talent, but they probably got the most scary prospect, not just because of what I'm scared of what he can do on the field, but just his frame and his durability. When he's out there and he's healthy, he's going to be one of the best receivers almost instantly out of this rookie class. But if he can stay healthy, I really hope he can. Jalen Hurts just needs weapons. I like this for the Eagles. I think this was the right pick for them. Whether they needed to trade up for him or not is kind of, I don't know. Maybe the Giants were looking at him and that's why they wanted to go make that move. But yes, I like the Devonte Smith. And this is the pick of the draft. I know Trevor Lawrence, the people that made a move or just snagged someone that was just completely unexpected. The Chicago Bears trade from 20th all the way to 11 to get Justin Fields. I absolutely love this. I could spend an entire video on how much I love this pick. The Bears' long, rich history of winning Super Bowls, all this stuff, their best quarterback has been Jay Cutler. He's just a regular dude. I don't think he would even be he's a mediocre starter. I don't think he's all that great. I had no fear of him when my Lions were playing him twice a year. He just didn't do that for me. Justin Fields, whether it's his mechanics, his work ethic, all this stuff, he is an absolute baller. And when people talk about Dak Prescott, I'm saying he's not Dak Prescott. He runs a 4.4 40, and he was disappointed in that. I think he thought he was going to be in the mid 4.3s. How many quarterbacks in the NFL run a 4.4 40? If we actually think about this, there's Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, and outside of that, I don't think anyone else does, unless I'm just completely blanking out on someone. Justin Fields' running ability is something that is so undervalued in this. He has a cannon for an arm. I don't love his mechanics, but Chicago Bears will finally have a dynamic quarterback, and hopefully Allen Robinson and Darnell Mooney can finally get someone. They can run the crispiest routes ever, and hopefully the Chicago Bears have something going on. I hope that for Bears fans, not as a Lions fan. But this was the steal of the draft. I was so excited for the Bears when I saw this for them. This was the pick. Moving on to the 12th, although the Cowboys didn't get any one of their corners, I think this is the best thing that probably could have happened to them. They got an extra third-round pick, and they got the best linebacker in this class, Micah Parsons. And although they probably wanted to go corner later, they drafted 2 6'4" corners. So they're definitely screaming, we're going to play zone, we're going to be physical, we're going to be big. But now they have Clayton Van Der Esch, Jalen Smith, and now Micah Parsons in their 4-3 defense. This is going to be scary. These are all rangy, fast, sideline-to-sideline type of guys. They're going to be all over the place. They're all going to be able to get after the quarterback. They're going to drop in coverage. They can do it all in a 4-3 defense. This is exactly what the Cowboys needed, and they got to wait, sit back, get an extra third-round pick. This is why this draft has been flawless so far. Chargers at 13, they got the next best tackle in Rashawn Slater out of Northwestern. This wasn't any surprise to me. Last year they hit huge. I mean, they couldn't have if they didn't have another good first-round pick in the next 5 years, they would be completely okay because they got Justin Herbert, the steal of last year's draft, sitting at number 6. They got their quarterback. Let's go out and protect him. Not too much to think about here. Made sense. He's the one guy that shut down Chase Young in his unbelievable season at Ohio State. He can do it. He's NFL ready. And Chase Young, we saw how good he is in the NFL. If he can lock down him, he had a year to train, to get his body right. And that's what I think about linemen. They can get a lot of reps, but also getting your body right might be the most important thing because it is such a physically demanding where it can kind of linger season to season. So even though he opted out, that doesn't scare me too much. Great pick for the Chargers. 14 at the Jets, they get guard Elijah Vera Tucker. And that just makes sense too. I mean, you got your quarterback with the second overall pick. They have a ton of draft capital. Go and get the best guard in this draft class out of USC. Just makes sense. It'll help you with the run game, help you with pass protection. The Jets, kind of a no-brainer. I don't mind them trading back up. I think they were at 23. Trade it up, have a ton of draft picks, go protect your quarterback, Zach Wilson, make it better for him. And if they use the rest of their picks to just help Zach Wilson have success early on, that's going to be the best thing because they really don't have a backup plan. Because right now, the San Francisco 49ers, they have Jimmy G, whether they're going to keep him or not. Trey Lance can sit behind him. Zach Wilson just knows he's going to be thrown into the fire week 1. And finally, at 15, we have the Patriots. They got their unathletic, dumpy, not a huge arm. I'm not trying to roast him too much, but I'll put up a picture of him right now. This is who the Patriots got. This is Tom Brady. It just makes so much sense. This is the offense. I mean, Cam Newton, I still think he's going to be at the helm, but now they have their guy who is going to be exactly who Tom Brady was, whether he's to his level or not, but he is pinpoint accurate, broke the college football record for completion percentage. I mean, this guy just screams Patriots. They didn't have to go move and get him. And for someone thinking for so long that this guy's going to go at 3 and they're going to have to definitely trade up to 8 or 9 to keep the Panthers or the Broncos from getting him, to be able to sit where they are at 15 and still get the guy they wanted the entire time, I think this was perfect for the Patriots. I mean, it just makes so much sense. Whether Cam Newton explodes this year, the Patriots are ecstatic because they have a lot more dynamic of an offense. They have all their tight ends. They have a lot of people returning. If Cam Newton can be their guy, they are thrilled. Mac Jones, probably outside of Trevor Lawrence and maybe Zach Wilson, he's NFL ready. He can make all the throws. His mobility is just not there. He's used to sitting behind that nice and cozy, warm Alabama offensive line. It's not going to be like that in the NFL, but we'll see. He can make every throw, and hopefully he can get some good instruction on how to do that. And he's definitely better than Stidham right now. So he's definitely the backup in my opinion. But that's going to be it. I wanted to defend because I was so on the edge of my seat. People were active. People were making picks. And as I was watching, I was like, that's not exactly what I was thinking. As I dive back in more, I absolutely loved the first 15 picks. Probably the most controversial being the Jamar Chase. I can defend that because they already have their tackles. Go get their guy. And if you don't need to draft a number one receiver for another few years, I think they're going to be more than okay with that. They can go out and get people in later rounds in free agency. I just love this entire draft. I hope you guys like this. I know you're used to seeing videos in the background and not just used to seeing me talking. Let me know what you guys think about the NFL draft. What was the worst pick of the first round? To me, it was definitely the Las Vegas Raiders. Inside the first 15, probably the most questionable was Devonte Smith to the Eagles, just because they know they're just not good at picking receivers. But go get Jalen Hurts' guy. He played with him at Alabama too for a season, I think. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. This is definitely different. I was just able to come on here and rant. I'm very excited for my Lions. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know this isn't basketball either. Holy crap, I'm just ranting so much. I'm just going to get off. I'll see you all tomorrow. Peace.